Hi there, welcome to a show where I talk about overlooked stuff, where people with nothing better to do might enjoy. Today's topic, Galio support. If you like doing damage while being tanky and being an absolute anti-magic gigachad, Galio support is the perfect pick for you. Despite the removal of all his fun W and E flash combos, Galio support remains a menace in bot lane. He can tank, he can CC, he deals damage, and he can roam. Lux and Xerath doesn't matter, magic shield. Leona and Nautilus, E, W counter engage. Weak early game ADCs, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, level 3 kill. If you like Warden gaming, play Galio support now! So for Galio, there are two rune pages to choose from. There is the responsible tank page, which I'm gonna show you now. It's Aftershock for tanky banky, shield bash for extra damage. You could also go Font of Life for the extra healing instead. Second Wind for regen, and Revitalize for regen against poke lanes, or Overgrowth for HP scaling. For this example, we're just gonna go Revitalize, and then for the second tree, we're gonna go Axiom Arcanist for more ults, and Scorch for extra damage. For adaptives, take Adaptive Force, Health Scaling, and Health Scaling. And besides this, there's also the Poke Mage page. Now for Poke Mage, we're gonna take Aftershock, not Aftershock, we're gonna take Arcane Comet for Poke, and then we're gonna take Axiom Arcanist for ult spam. Mana Flow Band is also an option if mana is an issue. Personally, it's not for me. I would recommend Axiom Arcanist if you space it out correctly. Takes Transcendence for CDR, Scorch for extra poke, and then for second tree, take Precision, take Presence of Mind for some mana sustain, and Cut Down for more damage. If you have Mana Flow Band on the first tree, you could also technically swap out Presence of Mind for Triumph, but since I'm taking Axiom Arcanist, I would say take Presence of Mind and Cut Down. And for adaptives, take Adaptive Force, take CDR, Adaptive Force, and Health Scaling. And that's pretty much it for the two different rune pages. Galio is pretty flexible, but this is what I would recommend you choose from to start off with. For the summoner spells, pick between Ghost or Flash as the movement spell, and then for the second summoner spell, choose between Heal, Ignite, and Exhaust as the support spell. Heal for healing, as the name says, and Ignite for kill pressure, and Exhaust for extra peeling. But overall, just experiment and find out what you like. For items, go standard support start of World Atlas and 2 health pots. There are 2 builds for Galio support, which is tank and AP. They can be used for either rune page. For tank, turn your support item into Bloodsong. You hit him once with E or W combo with auto attack, and that's free damage vulnerability on the enemy. For shoes, you can go either defensives, swifties, or symbiotes. Most of the time, it will probably be defensives. Next, rush Hollow Radiance or Sunfire. And that's it for the core build. Galio is such a gigachad warden that he can power game with just one Bommies item. For the rest of the build, go for any of these items. For AP, it's a bit complicated. Turn your support item into either Bloodsong or Zax's Realm Spike. For shoes, you can go either Sork Shoes, defensives, or Swifties. Sork Shoes is usually the go-to for the AP build, but defensives are still a good bit if you fall a little bit behind. Go Shirelia's first item. Gives you AP, HP, and movement speed. Great item to build overall. Second item should be Hextech Rocket Bell so you can jump people. And third item is Horizon Focus. It activates every time you hit someone with Q or E, and more damage vulnerability is always a good thing. And that's the core build for AP support. Last item is Flex, so just pick something from this list. For potions, Elixir of Iron for the tank build and Elixir of Sorcery for the AP build. As always, experiment to see what you like. As shown before, there are 2 different skill levelings when it comes to the AP or tank build for Galio, but the initial playstyle is mostly the same. You always start off by poking the enemy with Q to wear them down, then looking for an engage with E and W. Landing the E is pretty important because it deals a sizable amount of damage as well as knocking them out for the duration. If you can land a full EQW auto attack combo at level 3 or 4, that's a real kill angle with Ignite. You can also force the enemy to flash pretty consistently as well, since they know that if they even get caught once at this stage, it's over for them. But don't get too hung up on landing the E every time. A lot of times, enemy bot laners start being aware of your E range, and they start to just hang way back and only farm the wave. If your carry doesn't know how to manipulate the wave, you'll end up wasting your early kill pressure. What you can do with Galio is E just to gap close, and then W to mess up their positioning. With how strong Galio is, the trade still evens out in your favor with just W and Q combo. It's important to walk away as soon as you finish landing the W and Q combo to not take too much damage. Don't get greedy, let your carry help out with the rest of the damage. An additional note for the AP playstyle, if they are staying real far away out of range, just keep poking them with Q to wear them down. And if they keep playing hyper safe from your Q range to the point where they miss CS, that's perfect. Just keep holding onto your Q and punish them anytime they walk forward. Galio support is also really good at invading jungle. With how junglers are these days, if you help your jungler invade at level 4 and beyond, you can secure an easy kill on the enemy jungler and completely ruin his early levels and his mental game. In short, focus on using your early game power to become a dominant presence in the bot lane. This will greatly help you snowball your way to victory. Beyond level 6, you become a walking attack missile. Your range of activity has now expanded from bot lane to include the entirety of mid lane, dragon pit, enemy jungle, and your jungle. Heck, if you walk up to mid, you can even ult to help out at void grubs. The range on it is crazy, but the impact it brings is even crazier. Enemy laners will always have to watch out for ganks from you because of your strong CC chain and killing potential. But if all lanes are doing pretty well and there are no angles for roaming, don't try to force any ult plays. Hold it for when you actually need it. Sometimes bot lane gets ganked by multiple people and your E and W just isn't enough to peel for your ADC. You can ult in the middle of combat to create a fuck off zone for your ADC to give both of you a better chance of surviving a 4-man dive. The rest follows as usual. Unga bunga at dragon fights, gank mid, protect your carry, bully mages and squishies, and yell Demacia every time you ult. This is where the playstyles for the build deviates the most. I'll give some advice for the tank playstyle first, since that's probably going to be the most common one, and then I'll give some advice for the AP one. For the tank build, your role in late game is to catch people, tank damage, and peel. That last bit is especially important because your carries are very prone to being blown up in late game. There have been a lot of games where the enemy tries to bait me into engaging just so that I won't be able to peel for my ADC. That's just how powerful Galio's bodyguarding capabilities are, so always stick close to your carries. And that's pretty much the overall requirements for tank Galio support at this stage. AP Galio, however, is a tad bit more complicated. While you still have the role of an off tank, you don't really want to be in the front lines for too long. You don't have the health or resistances to survive an entire barrage of damage. What you want to do in teamfights is to poke with Q and catch out any lone squishy targets with E and W to explode them before the fight. In fights, you can still tank a decent amount of damage as long as you hold your W, since it gives you damage resistance, but once that W ends, unload your full combo and prepare to run away. Let someone else tank the damage while your W comes off cooldown. Repeat this in and out playstyle like an assassin, and you should be able to consistently secure kills for your team. However, be prepared to die a lot, since your job is still to protect your carries. It's just that instead of stalling for a long time, your goal is to explode the enemy before they can kill your carry, even if it means giving your life for it. As for the rest, it's your usual schmuck of teamfighting, objective securing, and ARAM nonsense. Do it well, and you win the game. Here are the pros and cons and champion matchups. Galio is one of my favorite champions to play in League of Legends. It was one of my earliest mains in League and one that I have stuck with to this day. I will never forget the Demonic's Embrace era of Galio back then. Those were some fun times. And to be honest, Galio support is actually a video I've wanted to do for a while, but I mistakenly thought that it was really popular and people already knew about it. But the OverlookedPearls series has changed over time, and I also found out that Galio is not nearly as popular as I thought he would be, which is strange considering how strong he is. Anyways, this was a blast to make, and I hope you'll enjoy playing Galio as much as I do. What do you think? What's your Galio support build? Are you a Galio enjoyer? What lane do you play Galio in? If I made a jungle Galio video, would you watch it? Heck, in fact, would you like to see a video about Galio in every role? Did you enjoy watching? And did you subscribe? Do you have your own suggestions for this series? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Your idea could end up in the next community poll. And that's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. Over 90% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel, so consider doing so if you're interested. I'll catch you guys later. Rock Tofu, signing off.